A very good afternoon to you and welcome to NTV at 1 this Saturday, 21st September 2019. I hope you're having a great weekend. We are coming to you live from the Nation's Center. My name is Edmond Nyabola, following up on the stories making headlines at this hour, and a couple of our reporters are also out in the field and will be joining us live with updates on the stories they are currently working on. Vincent Udwor in the NTV newsroom and Silas Apollo in Tana River County. But first, the government has given all persons holding illegal guns until 30th of September to surrender them to local authorities without facing the tough consequences. The director of the Kenya National Focal Point on Small Arms, Mohamed Amin, says all the 800 firearms that were seized from civilians in the past year will be destroyed. Vincent Udwor was at the press briefing this morning and now joins us live from our newsroom, as I said before. Vincent, what else was spoken about in that press briefing?
Absolutely. Some of the highlights that really came up today is that in Kenya there are about 600,000 firearms that are held by civilians illegally. And when you look at Africa as a continent, according to estimates by the African Union, is that when you look at the private actors, that includes civilians and also private security companies, they have about 40 million firearms. And out of these 40 million firearms in Africa, only 5.8 are officially registered, and therefore it means more than 34 million or more than 34 million firearms have not been accounted officially. And this is something that is really a big challenge in Africa, because proliferation of small arms and also light weapons have been causing a lot of problems, because they are largely linked to a lot of criminal and transnational criminal activities in the country. And most of these guns, they say, get into this country through porous borders. When you look at maybe Kenya and Somalia, Kenya and Ethiopia, and also Kenya and Sudan, and these firearms go through these borders into the country, and they are being used in criminal activities, especially cattle rustling in northern Kenya. And therefore these are things that we know the Regional Center on Small Arms and Light Weapons, and also the Kenya National Focal Point on Small Arms and light weapons have been trying to really make sure that the implementation of the Nairobi Protocol, that is in charge of the prevention, control and reduction of proliferation of these weapons, really is implemented effectively, so that to tackle this menace that is a very big problem in Africa. And therefore basically these are some of the things that really were said during today's presser.
Illicit arms are inextricably linked with other transnational organized crimes, such as poaching and terrorism, and they share the same illegal trafficking routes and actors as other contraband, including drugs, humans, wildlife trophy from poaching, stolen cattle, and vehicles.
So that now the citizens can surrender their firearms to the nearest police stations, the chiefs, the religious leaders, and our community leaders. We have porous borders, particularly along our Kenya-Somalia border. And as a government, we have put in mechanisms and strategies to prevent the illegal infiltration of firearms, of course, across our borders. In terms of putting in place very robust border management committees and our border patrol units.
The Kenyan government has really been trying to fight the proliferation of small arms and light weapons, because at the end of last year, you remember, Interior Cabinet Secretary ordered that all civilian gun owners to really surrender those guns and be vetted afresh, so that they can be issued with the new licenses. And after a period of about 6 months, it was discovered that about 5,000 firearms had been issued irregularly, and this is something that the government really is trying to really tackle. And right now, Kenyans or civilians have been given only 10 days to surrender them without any punishment. But this is something that we're going to follow up, and we will see how it is going, because remember that civilians are not allowed to hold certain firearms, like rifles. But after that exercise, we realized that there were civilians who were holding firearms instead of small weapons like pistols, and therefore this is a big problem that we are going to see how the government is tackling the issue. Back to studio.
Thank you so much, Vincent Oduor, with that update. Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta has marketed Kenya as a prime investment destination, which has a potential of becoming a hub for transport and business in the African continent in less than 10 years. The president, who is in Singapore, has also called on the Asian economies to use Kenya as a gateway to Africa's market of over 1.2 billion people.
President Uhuru Kenyatta joined a gathering of business persons from Asia with the hope to attract many of them to open shop in Kenya.
This is not only one of the top 10 fastest growing economies on the African continent, but it is also one of the most pro-business nations in that continent.
The president pointed out Kenya's improved ranking in the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index as a sign of a good atmosphere for the world to do business in the country.
Our potential for e-commerce and exciting new frontiers within this new economy have barely been scratched, and I invite willing business partners and investors to come in with us in these areas to access the vibrant Kenyan market as well as the wider continental market.
Fast internet and improved access to the same have been cited as factors that place Kenya at an advantage over other countries in the region.
Our world-famous M-Pesa mobile money platform has promoted financial inclusion in our country and provided a template for reaching conventionally unbanked populations across the region.
Kenya's mobile phone subscriptions currently stand at 95% of its population of more than 45 million.
We need to make our two regions the hubs that connect our two countries.
With all the steps the country has taken to place itself in a good position to compete in business globally, President Kenyatta said there should be collaboration between Asia and Africa in cultural exchanges, capacity building and information sharing as the foundations for forging a new path of productivity and commerce. Kenya believes that it can benefit from the targeted $29 trillion that are available for investors to tap into in the continent. Leila Mohammed, NTV.
Thank you very much.
Food production firm Monte has expressed its disappointment in the High Court's move to not make a ruling in a suit in which it had sued Murang'a County government for declining to renew leases for its pineapple plantations. The court said it lacks jurisdiction on the matter and referred it to the Environment and Land Court. The workers' unions have also joined the firm in the condemnation of the court's move.
Will only serve to further delay a process that Del Monte Kenya has attempted to resolve amicably with the county government of Murang'a since 2012. Regrettably, yesterday's court ruling left the primary issue of renewal Del Monte Kenya leases in Murang'a County undetermined, thereby, as we heard earlier, leaving in limbo the livelihood of thousands of families and hundreds of businesses that rely on the company's pineapple production.
We are only urging the authorities that now that the issue of the lease is out of court, and we have been advised to go to the Environment Court, I would appreciate if we could engage. Maybe that has given us a room and window for further engagement.
Now, Kibos special schools for the blind are at risk of closure owing to the pollution and pathetic state of facilities. This is according to the National Assembly's Education Committee, which also accused the Kibos Sugar Company of polluting the environment. This, the team says, is putting the students, pupils, and secondary and primary schools at risk of the side effects. The committee has called on the government to move with speed to release funds and take action on the pollution in that part of the country. Of course, in Kisumu County. We'll have the pictures in a short while. But before that, let's go to Tana River County, where our reporter Silas Apollo has been for the last day of the inaugural Tana River County Cultural Festival, and the sights, sounds, tastes of the county are still ongoing. Silas Apollo is still on location and now joins us live with an update. Silas, what activities or events are there today?
It is the last day of Tana River County Cultural Festival, the first ever to be organized by this county. A number of activities that have been lined up today. There was a wrestling competition that just ended a few minutes ago, where residents were competing on who has more muscles than the other. That ended a few minutes ago. Right now we're in Tana River, River Tana, of course, where there's a swimming competition that residents are going to participate in. It's supposed to start in a few minutes from now. Besides that, there's a main event which will be coming live from 1:30 p.m. where there's also dances and traditional dances and regalia that residents are going to participate in the afternoon. So today is a closing ceremony. The residents here say they're excited about the event that has been taking place since Thursday. A number of activities have taken place. They've showcased the food that they have. They've showcased some of the heritage and the historical sites that they have in this county. So it's a pretty interesting day for them, an exciting day for them. But right now, the swimming competition just began. Of course, residents, they call it the crocodile swimming, where they immerse themselves deep in water and swim from one end to the other. It's a pretty interesting one. The residents here are jubilant about it. Of course, the winners that emerge have a bit of tokens that they're going to be given at the end of the competition. So it'll be coming to you live from 1:30 p.m. But from me and my team here, I wish to hand you back to studio.
Thank you so much, Silas Apollo. Immediately after the news, we actually headed down to Tana River County for live coverage of the cultural festival. The last day is today. But away from that and staying at the coast, police in Kisauni in Mombasa County have seized over 7,000 rolls of bang, whose street value is estimated to be over 3 million shillings. Area residents have commended the police on the action, saying that it works towards ensuring criminal activities are properly dealt with in Mombasa County.
This house could ordinarily pass for a normal family home, but within these walls were bags upon bags of a drug that residents say is the root of all evil in Shanzu area of Kisauni, Mombasa County. Bang.
Sisi kama bodaboda pia tunahofia maisha yetu. Ukipata mtu amefuta bangi tayari mapanga unamwachia bike. Na bike si yako, umeajiriwa.
Yoyote ambaye anahusika na hii achukuliwe hatua ili mtaa yetu kuwe misafi.
The rolls of bang were transported to an open field, and in the full view of the area residents, the police set it ablaze as a show of their commitment to weed out the problem of drug abuse in the society.
Ikipatikana inaharibiwa. Yule anayepatikana anakamatwa, anapelekwa kotini, lakini bangi yenyewe ama miadarati inaharibiwa ili mtu asitafute njia ya kuzitoa na kuziuza tena.
Some people raised concern over why the evidence of a crime has been destroyed before being taken to court. Thus far, police say some arrests have been made.
Yeah, quite a number. Sio tu hata bangi pekee, we also have suspects wa chang'aa wengi sana, kama they're about how many, 14? Kama 14.
Police have welcomed the residents to join them in the fight against any crime in the area. Charity Mwangi, NTV.
Water challenges for Nairobi residents, particularly in Eastlands area, could soon come to an end as the government says it has set aside 18 billion shillings for the development of water and sewerage infrastructure in the county. And before that, let's have a look at what the Deputy President has been up to. And political leaders in the county of Embu have decried the government's apparent neglect of the county in development. The leaders have called for action to ensure that the people have access to basic amenities. Deputy President William Ruto, who is in the county, has sought to assure them that the government has already done some homework and will be addressing the issues which include water supply. The local leaders have blamed the Jubilee government of being slow in implementing development in the county, citing years of having to endure poor roads and lack of sufficient water.
Agenda ya Mbere South, nilikwambia agenda 1 ni maji, agenda 2 ni maji, agenda 3 ni maji, agenda 4 ni maji, agenda 5 ni maji. Your Excellency, this place does not need 500 million. This place, in order to resolve the water issue, kumaliza shida ya maji huku Mbere South, we need at least 2 billion shillings tumalize shida ya maji huku kwetu.
We have already scoped the work Tumeangalia, tumefanya usorovea, tumejua tunahitaji maji kutoka wapi na itafika wapi. Na tumefanya estimate ya hiyo project ni milioni 700 awamu ya kwanza, phase 1. Hiyo mimi nataka niwaambie by December this year we will have an answer for the 700 million ya kwanza. Tunaelewana? Na hiyo waziri nimeshamwambia atakuja hapa, mtajadiliana na yeye, atawaambia ile mpango tumeweka na itachukua muda gani maji hiyo ifike hapa.
Nearly 1,270 families who were evicted from land that was set aside for the Itare Dam project have encroached and pitched tent on a private land in Kuresoi constituency. Despite the government demolishing their homes, they moved into Elijah Kirui's private 2.5-acre piece of land. The IDPs have constructed makeshift houses, and upon Kirui raising concern, they turned hostile against him. Kuresoi North Deputy County Commissioner Felix Watakila reiterated that there is no compensation that will be given to the squatting families, citing that they might have to use necessary force to evict them. He noted that the camp has become a threat to the project and the residents who own land around the area.
Walikuja wakachenga tu manyumba kwa hii shamba yetu bila sababu. Sasa tukafika hapa tukaangalia hatuna haki ya kuishi juu alikuwa wakali sana.
Kwa sababu Kenya kuna katiba, Kenya iko na sheria. Iwapo kuna mtu atafahamia shamba ya mwingine na hiyo shamba iko na title deed, hiyo ni kinyume cha sheria.
The ongoing crackdown on illegal mines in Migori County will go on uninterrupted for the next 2 weeks. And this is according to the Migori County Commissioner Joseph Rotich, who says that government directives on illegal mines will be implemented until all interested parties comply. The month-long operation is targeting illegal small-scale miners and owners of leaching plants that have exposed locals and workers to various health hazards. The multi-agency team says it has already shut down 34 of the 67 leaching plants in the county. The county commissioner has added that the crackdown targets illegal foreign miners who have partnered with locals to flout state directives. Some investors in Nyatike and Kuria refused to have orders to shut down illegal mines served to them.
They're supposed to have a structure within them which handles issues of accidents in case they occur, or even prevent them.
We have people there who don't know there's a license, who don't know there's need to protect this environment. We want licenses and support. We've given capacity to our teams. I want to train the National Police Service also to understand mining, the minerals we talk about. We'll set up a regional office here.
At least 1,700 homes in Kajiado and Makueni counties have benefited from a free solar lighting program that aims to improve access to sustainable clean energy. The 15 million shillings project seeks to enhance education among children in the counties who have either been unable to study at night due to lack of proper lighting or have relied on kerosene lamps to do so. The beneficiary homes have received a solar system equipped with 3 lighting bulbs, a backup battery, electrical and phone charging ports. At the moment, the project is only limited to Kajiado and Makueni, but will be extended to Kakamega, Mwingi and Kitui counties within the next 3 months. And now to something you can look forward to. The tightly knit green canopy of the Mau complex, which cuts across 5 counties, is at the center of a heated exchange between the government, political leaders and residents. A government directive that all who have encroached within the Masai Mau forest park and go has once again brought to the fore an issue that has persisted for 4 decades with political and tribal undertones. This Sunday, 7 and 9 p.m., NTV's Zainab Ismail asks the tough questions, I should say, on the Mau tragedy. Here now is a sneak preview.
Masai Mara Serengeti ecosystem has 0 chance of surviving without all the rivers flowing being protected.
People like Isaac Ruto brought those people from his neighborhood and planted them in the forest.
I do not own a single acre in Narok South.
We know the people with title deeds are the big guys. Some have got even 2,000 hectares.
This is just one of the indigenous trees in the eastern block of the Mau complex, which has been in existence for more than 100 years, an example of what could have been in the Maasai Mau forest before encroachment.
As Ogiek, as an indigenous community, we lost a home.
So that's Sunday, 7 and 9 p.m. But tonight, Saturday, 7 and 9 p.m. again, Leila Mohammed will bring you an inspirational story of a military man who went blind while on duty but still has a vision of the mission. Take a look.
Hakuwa na target sisi, walikuwa tu bado waingie kwa kambi. Sasa sijui na kama ni Mungu jusi tetani ilikuja mbele ya daki yetu. Pap. Bila buruki nilikuwa nayo ikatakatwa pieces. Watu wanasema napumua lakini unajua sasa sioni sasa niko kama nikufa kama nikupona sijui sasa niko wapi.
Some of them may not show signs they are healthy but later on they show the signs of being stressed.
Jana niko tayari kuendelea na kazi. Hata sasa inaweza pika risasi.
And as he walks the journey to the next step of his life, he takes along other soldiers just like him, and he tells them that despite the challenges that they face on the front line, life can be better and be different in all ways.
Do stay tuned for those two stories tonight and tomorrow. And now to the sports. The bid to take rugby to the grassroots sees the Nakuru Athletic Club host Kenya Simba's match against Zimbabwe in their final Victoria Cup outing. The match is a dead rubber with the Sables already crowned Victoria Cup champions, and head coach Paul Odera continues his policy of rotating the squad as he looks to qualification for the 2023 World Cup. Odera has named 8 rookies to his squad that will be bolstered by the return of Poland-based professional Joshua Chisanga. Samson Onsomo is the captain, while Elkians Musonye and Malcolm Onsando are the squad's vice-captains. Kenya heads into this match seeking to end the Victoria Cup campaign on a high and also get revenge after losing 29-30 to the Sables in the first leg in Bulawayo. From rugby to football, and Wazito and FC Leopards will be chasing their first victories of the Kenyan Premier League season when they face off at the Bukhungu Stadium in Kakamega on Saturday. Wazito have registered 2 draws, while the Leopards have lost once and drawn once. Kisumu All-Stars will be hoping to build on their draw with KCB when they take on Zoya Sugar in Kisumu. Mathare United, who have drawn in their 2 opening matches, face Ulinzi Stars, who lie second on the log from a win and a draw. On Sunday, champions Gor Mahia will aim to topple leaders KCB for top spot. Posta Rangers host Western Stima, Kakamega Homeboys face Kariobangi Sharks, Sofapaka take on Chemelil Sugar, Zoo face Tusker, while Sony Sugar battle Bandari FC. And still on football, Bournemouth climbed to 3rd place in the English Premier League as they won away to Southampton for the first time with a 3-1 triumph on Friday night's South Coast Derby. Tottenham get Saturday's action underway.
Welcome to NTV today. You are just in time. The live link will be done by Muledan, and sports has a lot to be shown. And Sean Cardovillis
keeping you up to date with all you need to know as and when it happens.
It's not been a very good morning in the country. We've had a very grisly accident.
In clear context to all the relevant issues.
Reacquire the property they've gotten with our looted money and save this country for my child and daughter Teko and the many children.
From our studios to the ground where the action is live.
Misuse of funds here in the country.
Someone donating their hat to Bernard Ojwang there.
Welcome to NTV today. You are just in time. The live link will be done by Muledan, and sports has a lot to be shown. And Sean Cardovillis
keeping you up to date with all you need to know as and when it happens.
It's not been a very good morning in
the history of rugby. Between them, the 2 sides have won 5 of 8 World Cups. 2-time champions Australia survived an almighty scare in their Pool D opener against Fiji on Saturday as they fought back from 9 points down in the second half to run out 39-21 win.
Country had a very grisly accident.
In clear context to all the relevant issues.
Reacquire the property they've gotten with our looted money and save this country for my child and daughter Teko and the many children.
From our studios to the ground where the action is live.
Misuse of funds here in the country.
Someone donating their hat to Bernard Ojwang there.
Welcome to NTV Today. You are just in time. The live link will be done by Dan, and sports has a lot to be shown. And Sean Cadavillis,
keeping you up to date with all you need to know as and when it happens.
It's not been a very good morning in the country. We've had a very grisly accident.
Clear context to all the relevant issues.
Reacquire the property they've gotten with our looted money and save this country for my child and daughter Teko and the many children.
From our studios to the ground where the action is live.
Misuse of funds here in the country.
Someone donating their hat to Bernard Ojwang there.
welcome to NTV Today. You are just in time. The live link will be done by Dan, and sports has a lot to be shown. And Sean Cadavillis,
keeping the platform for girls' education, a policy paper on developing a gender-responsive education sector. The policy paper, which was unveiled at Moi Girls School in Nairobi, sets the stage for advancing the push to push society and the systems and structures to accommodate women and girls and empower them in their diverse endeavors. The Countess is on a tour seeking to encourage Commonwealth states to adopt a whole system approach to advancing gender equality in and through quality education. She is pushing for increased focus on building and fostering environments in the Commonwealth nations that enable women's political participation and economic empowerment. Sophie, Countess of Wessex, is the wife of Prince Edward, the youngest son of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip.
It's about time that girls were recognised and are able to take their places in society on an equal footing with their male partners.
And that's where we bring NTV at 1 this Saturday to a close. Thank you for watching. Just after this, immediately after this actually, we will be live from Tana River County for the final day of the cultural festival there with Silas Apollo. My name is Edmond Nyabola. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing, because after that we have Top Sport and of course NTV Jioni and NTV Weekend Edition. Bye-bye.
Up to nothing but the best in news, conversation starters, and hard-hitting interviews that keep you informed for the day.